Good morning. Our hand today is going to be Queen Nine of Diamonds. We are in the big blind. We had a mid position player raise first in, and we just call. So this player's playing 27-14. We've got a lot of hands on him. Looks like his raise first in stats about 24%. I'm sure we have a lot of notes on him. We've got raise first in under the gun, pocket fives. This will be the first time we'll be able to get a read or a hand on him from mid position. But I think 24% looks probably something like this, and we can adjust. For us, we're going to blind versus mid position. We've got 3-better call. This is definitely a hand where we could 3-bet or call. We are out of position, but that's okay. We do have a decent hand, kind of in the middle. Know though that Dylan's range is going to be stronger than our range, so I think when we call works, we're going to be checking to him, and we're going to expect to see bet on most of these flops. So we called and we flopped 3 jacks, which was pretty good for us. So as I said, I do think we're going to check here. Villain C bets, which is I'm not shocked about. I do think he's probably going to C bet a lot of hands. You can see his C bet in position is 86%. I think he's C betting. He's probably C betting too much here. So if we do gut shot plus and any pair plus, that's at 72%. If we include all of the ace high hands, we're at 95%. That's probably right. Maybe even all of the overcards like the ace king, ace queen, those might also be C betting. We know he's C betting a lot. So the question for us then is, do we raise here? Do we just call? We hit a monster hand. I do think this is probably a hand where we should be 3-betting with our 9. I think we would be 3-betting with clubs, with straight draws, maybe even with like a jack, ace jack, king jack. Because this board isn't really going to hit him hard. Yeah, if he has a 9, he has a 9. But I think he's going to have a lot of hands that just kind of miss or connect weakly with this board. So I think playing a check raise in this spot with a lot of our range could be pretty decent. So if we just say three of kind plus, that is 5%. And then you check raise, you add your flush draw, and maybe not even all of your flush draw. Let's just do our big hands. So nut flush draw, and then these flush draws that also have some sort of draw, gut shot or straight draw. You're looking, that's at 7%. I mean, that's 13% you're check raising. I don't think that's high enough. I think we're going to have to add some more to it. So if we add all of our open ender, that brings that up to 11.69. And I think our check raise is probably going to be 50-50 here. So I think if we add some of our top pair like ace jack or so, that gets a little bit better. And I do think that's probably what we should be doing. I don't think I did. I think I just check called here. I guess that's okay, but my thought is, I think there's a lot of draws that we could make this play on, and it benefits. And I think it'd be more successful to check raise with a lot of those draws, because if he doesn't have anything, he might just fold, and we can pick up the pot right then and there. If he has anything, if he has like aces or kings or queens or maybe even ace jack, he's gonna call that check raise. But if a club comes, or like an 8 or a queen or a king comes, I think it's gonna freeze his action. So let's get the chips in now when we think he might check raise or might call or check raise. Then just call and hope he calls. Yeah, hope the turn brings a blank card that doesn't freeze the action. I think that's my play. So I didn't do that. I just called here, and what we're gonna do is we are gonna work this out. I think I'd probably call with these pocket pairs too. think we're gonna call with those just for now because I think that's probably what I was thinking. I'm just gonna check call and then try to attack on the turn, especially if I had like a weak pair or whatever. We'll run GTO on this. So turns a 9 just gives us quads. At this point, once we checked, I think we just checked to him with our entire range, and he checks behind. So at this point, once he checks, I'm going to eliminate quads. I think I'm going to eliminate a full house too. Actually, I think a full house I'm going to give him like 50% or so. I think definite possibility that he could be a definite possibility that he could be betting this as like slowing down because he just connected. I still think we'll give him the flush draw, open ender, and probably overcards here. So that's a missing quads. What else are we missing? Oh, because of 50%. Got it. So, all right, so we'll go with that. River's the queen of diamonds. Check. We went check, check. I think this is going to be a decent spot now to just go for some value and hope we get called. We need to make a bet that looks like it's like we're trying to attack it. Trying to attack the pot that we want to fold. So I'm going to say at least the pot size bet. Maybe we go higher. Maybe we go up to like 15. And I think we do it with our quads. I think we do it with our full house too. I don't think we do it with top pair. Well, that would be a quad, full house. I don't think we do it with a straight, but maybe we balance it with like a nothing hand. Right? And really, maybe it's just going to be with everything. We do it all, and we just turn our straights, our ace high, nothing into a bluff. I don't know. Actually, as I'm thinking about it, I don't like bluffing here. Any pair is just going to call. So I think here we just overbet. Go to 15, just with our quads, and probably with our good full houses. Not even with all of our full houses. I think with our top pair full houses, we can do that as well. We go full house with our top pair. I think we do that, and then our quads. And then the other ones, I think it's just going to be like a check call. What did I do? I bet pot, he calls. And again, I do think he's calling with all of his quads and full houses. I don't think he's calling with a straight. I think more than likely it's going to be like a queen or maybe a jack set that he was what he's going to call with, and that's kind of what we're targeting. So he shows ace jack, which is that second pair, and we won. So let's go ahead and take the notes. It's definitely in his range. Let's put that one right here. The RFI, big blind in MP. Actually, in hijack with ace jack of diamonds. He is in position. He bet about half. We'll just say 40%, and then check, and then called 100% on a jack of clubs, nine of clubs, nine of hearts, nine of spades, queen of diamonds. All right, let's see what GTO says. Because I think we should have been check raising this flop. So we definitely had the check. Villain bets, and then we're raising. So we had 9-8 of diamonds. We are supposed to raise it. So we're raising quads. We're raising full house. We're raising 3 of a kinds. So our nines, exception with the 10-9. So what hand are we doing this? So 16% we're raising. And that was about what we had initially, almost 16%. We didn't really have top pairs. We do have some of our flush draws. Our ace high flush 10-8 was a big flush draw. It was flush and open ender. So yeah, our nines, we're looking at hands that had some decent combo draws. So I think I was on the right track. We should be raising. There are some calls with 8-9, so I mean it is possible we could call with that, but I think GTO definitely favors the raise, and I think we should have executed it. So we just called. Now again, GTO suggests we check. Villain bets, checks behind. Queen of diamonds, and then it puts us here where we're betting 33%. And again, we're betting here, and this is all set up for 50%. I could probably set up the river to say that if we get to the river with this line, you know, what bet sizing works best. You know, half pot, you know, let's say 150% pot. But I'm not going to do it. I think the interesting part for us was this flop, and I do think we should have check raised. So if we raise and he calls, then do we continue betting? I think at that point, once we hit that 9, I would have thought that we're going to be betting a lot, but here we're not. We just hit quad. So yeah, some of our quads were betting, some of the quads were not. So let's change that to just a 3. So with a 3, we're betting. But if we connect with the 9, we don't. Even the 9 of diamonds, we don't. So check raise, we filled up the quads, we don't bet. But I bet if, you know, if we, let's do like a queen, king. Yeah, king. Some of the kings are checks. 8. Yep. So yeah, it just happens that we would have check raised and then we would have checked because we just hit quads, and we're just, I mean, we basically have all the cards in the board. So hopefully you enjoy this hand. If you do, look tomorrow for another.